The big thing for me is, as the guys were saying, I work as a strength and conditioning coach. I've worked as a strength and conditioning coach for 30 years. I have never stopped working as a strength and conditioning coach. And yes, I speak, yes, I've written books, yes, I've done DVDs, all this stuff. But during that time, there has never been a time when I was not actively engaged in the process of working with athletes. And the reason I say that now is, you know, one of the things, obviously, the internet has changed information exchange in every field, not just in our field, but there's a lot of frauds. There's a lot of people who are experts in strength and conditioning who have never done anything. They've never trained anybody, they've never done anything except make videos in their garage and write blog posts and do all these other things. So I would say buyer beware. You know, one of the things we talked about last night, we had a little small meeting last night, and someone was, you know, asking me about how the field's going to advance. They said, being able to filter is going to help you to become more advanced. Being able to realize where the good information is coming from and where the bad information is coming from. And one of the things that you want to know is this, you know, been there, done that. Have these people, are they doing what they say they do? In American football, I actually got credit with this combine training thing. This guy says I invented it in this book, so I did. Right? Because it's in a book and the guy said it. So I'm going with it. I don't know what page it's on. I probably had the page reference somewhere. But the point is that I've done this. I've done it in a bunch of different sports. I've done it in soccer. I've done it in ice hockey. I've done it in baseball. A broad range of sports, and it doesn't really make any difference. And so when we're talking, you know, we're going to talk about that particular idea. So what do you believe? You have to have a philosophy. We're going to talk, the whole day today will be about my philosophy, our philosophy, Mike Boyle Strength and Conditioning's philosophy, and why we do. I'm hoping by the time we're done that I'm going to convince you that I'm right. Because I think I'm right. And what I would say to you is, if I didn't think I was right, I'd change. Because all I want to do is do the best thing that I can possibly do for my athletes. I don't really care about being right. And that's why some people, one of the biggest criticisms of me, if you're somebody that's followed my career, is that I'm always changing my mind. And I am always changing my mind, because I'm always learning. And I refuse to be punished. If people are mad at me because I change my mind, tough shit. No, that's, if you're getting mad at someone because they read a book, you got a problem, right? So what do we believe? We believe you got to roll, you got to stretch, you got to warm up, you got to lift, you got to do conditioning. Like, I look at that and think, that shouldn't be a hard philosophy to sell to anybody. It just makes sense. When I wrote, you know, Functional Training for Sports, the book that was up here in the beginning that Martin had in his hand, I wrote, you know, functional training is training that makes sense. That's all it is. It should, everything that I say to you by the time we're done should make perfect sense. You should sit there and think, oh, that makes sense. And it will, because we're going to give you examples, and we're going to give you examples with straws and balloons and pieces of tape and a whole bunch of other stuff, so that you'll sit there and think, yeah, I get this. This makes perfect sense to me. But scientifically, tissue quality, tissue length, tissue temperature, tissue strength, tissue tolerance, because it's about, when we get here, it's about tissue. Rolling is tissue quality, stretching is tissue length, warm up is tissue temperature, lifting is tissue strength, conditioning really is tissue tolerance, because that's what we are, right? We're a big roll of muscle tissue, and we've got to figure out how do we care and maintain that tissue. Not a complicated process at all, I don't think. How many people here have read Outliers? Okay, not enough. Well, you're going to have a long list of books today by the time I'm done. Outliers is the first one you should put on your list. Malcolm Gladwell. Tremendous book just about success and how different people succeed. And one of the things that it talks about is that there's always a reason, there's always a backstory to success. These guys are my backstory.